work or this YES program fit into the whole picture of South African youth? I mean, when we look at the numbers, it's quite scary in terms of our youth unemployment.
The percentages are
it's crazy. Like we were researching
that
like,
when you have an income, learn how to budget, and then when you have the savings that you have currently accumulated, what then do you put it towards?
Before we can go there, Pascal, let us all discuss 2 points here. There's the parent element, there's the school element. Obviously, can you allow me to like direct?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Hello, and welcome to the official Youth at Work podcast, where passion meets purpose and young voices lead the conversation. I'm your host, Ntokozo, and I'm here with my incredible co-host, Pascal Camkin.
Thank you so much. This is our Youth Day podcast. We'll really be going through the situation, what are the current situation opportunities for youth in South Africa today, and then what can you do, or what are opportunities for economic inclusion, and also what does economic inclusion open you up once you are getting a steady salary? What opportunities are open to you, or what can you do to strive further? So we'd love to share this time with you and also to speak with our guests. If you can introduce yourself, that would be amazing.
Ladies first.
Thank you so much, Pascal and Ntokozo. My name is Lucy Rahaka.
Welcome.
And I am the YES alumna under Youth at Work, and then I was funded by CSIR. My current job role is HR and Training Officer.
Okay. Hi Pascal. Hi Ntokozo. Hi Lucy. My name is Lebohang Shahani, popularly known as Chairperson. I am a chairperson, by the way, of the South African AIDS Council within the Johannesburg AIDS Council, the youth sector to be specific. I am currently a YES youth. Almost done though. I'm on my 10th month, so I'm almost done with my journey. I am a psychology graduate, and I am currently a part-time student at WITS. I'm doing my sign language course.
Love it.
So I'm a wellness consultant at Youth at Work.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Lebo. Thank you. If I ask the two of you, if you are the average South African youth, I mean, we've looked at numbers, and Ntokozo and I, we've gone through it. We've seen, unemployment statistics from, 49% to as high as 62%. What do you see the reality as for young South Africans? We're talking about youth, people between 18 and 34. In your mind, what is the average person's reality in South Africa?
May I touch on that?
Yeah.
May I? Okay. So,
please just feel free. Like, if you have something to say, just shoot it, interject it. Yeah.
So, based on personal experience, unfortunately, as soon as majority of us are done with formal education, what we previously experienced is that we are told that make sure that you're educated, get educated to the highest level that you can get to, and you will be hunted for jobs.
I'm looking for you.
There are so many opportunities out there for you. Like, you're definitely going to get something that is suited for you as long as you make sure that you are educated. Then once you're done, the first thing you hear is apply for jobs. Now, majority of our youth, due to misinformation as well as lack of information, they do not know where to actually look for jobs and where to apply and. So this poses as a very huge problem in our society, that there's a lot of people who just don't have the information that they need. And then once they at least get someone who can plug them, because that's what we do these days, we plug each other. Yes, that's the way to go. Once you get a job, now the first thing you hear within the job spec, the application itself, 6 years experience. And you're like, whoa, I just got done with school. I've never set foot in a workplace. So what now? That is the reality that majority of our youth is facing. And unfortunately, the bracket of 18 to 35 is the most critical one in all of the employment industry, the whole employment industry. Because that is when people are most able to do the work that is given to them. Our minds are still fresh. We still have the ability to do the work that is given to us. Everything that is presented to us, we are able to do it. However, we're not given the opportunity to do so because of lack of skills, lack of experience.
So, Lucy, just to touch on this, Lebo spoke a lot about education and all of that. But does that mean now, because we have young people that maybe only have their matric or some dropped out of school, does that mean now that is it for you? You're always going to be that person that's at home and sitting in your little corner and just feel like you're a failure. So what are we saying about those young people?
Okay, thank you so much for that question, also.
You're so formal. Yes, please go on.
So on my end, as I've mentioned earlier on, to say as youth at work, we don't cater to choose to say we only want those who have qualification degrees, because we do also have those sponsors that say they'll also cater for those who have matric.
Oh.
And I also believe that when those sponsors say that we also need to cater those who have matric, I believe that they had those experience. They've seen how their communities or their colleagues or their family members suffered on getting employment because they don't have the necessary skills, they don't have the qualification, they've never worked before. So as youth at work, we are giving them that opportunity to say you've never went to school, but then you are willing to learn. So we offer you, or we give you an opportunity to say, showcase what you can do. Tell us what you can do. So in that way, we're able to offer them a 12 months work experience, but then also based on their availability.
And Lucy, if I'm not getting into the YES, I mean, we know only 4 out of every 500 South African youth gets into the YES program. If I'm not one of those youth, what are some of the other options and avenues that I have?
Yeah, what is open for the youth?
Yeah.
So one of our directors, Erika, she is somebody who's always believed on entrepreneurship, because she believes that as our current day's youth, we have ideas. We also have opportunities whereby if we get funders or we get information whereby they say they need to support yes youth or somebody who has got a business or an opportunity for them to grow their business, we also assist in that.
Ooh.
And what do you think about the narrative around, like, if I make an example, getting a job at a bank, whether I'm working at a teller or something, is better than, for example, having my own business where I do weaves or I do something else at home, even though I might be able to earn more money doing my own business, but it's perceived that getting that job, getting that pay slip is more valuable. Do you think that's something that's true, or it's just a perception?
I think it's the mentality that we think that when I work for somebody else, that's when I'll be able to be rich or get more money.
And
We also like...
I mean, starting a business is a risk. So I feel like a lot of young people are scared to go to, I'm going to start this business. What if
it
doesn't?
fails?
Exactly. You understand?
What
I
if
feel
it
like,
doesn't
we
work
have
out?
that fear. And lack of information. Because starting a business is a skill, guys. I feel like there's certain things you must know about it, how to save your money, how to invest into the business, not just misusing your profits. I feel like such conversations are also important to say, I have a business, but it's a hand to mouth kind of thing, where when I receive money from the business, I'm using it for something else.
Sure.
And then it doesn't sustain your business and you feel like you're unemployed all over again.
What other option do you think you have right now, though? If you look at like the job market and the amount of youth that we have, is there another avenue besides becoming entrepreneurial, besides working a business, making your own form of income that is really viable for mass employment?
And that is the gap we are currently trying to close. Unfortunately, those are the two options that are most attractive, or rather what is available to us in this day and age. And people don't necessarily look at things regarding going the tech way. For example, people who are currently marketing engineers online, they don't have a formal education, but they just got access to information. Then they started being digital marketers and doing things in the tech space, which is like a really broader space to be in. But a lot of people just don't have that information in their hands. But there's also the creative space. there's a lot of people who have talent, like a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, people can sing, people can dance, but because such industries are congested, people feel like, okay, maybe I'm not going to make it if I don't have access to. I don't know producers. I don't know.
But to me, level, that's
know?
part of the problem. Like we idolize the person who can sing. We idolize that successful entrepreneur.
Yes.
We forget that the lady selling on the street corner, selling magwinya, who's putting her whole family through school, who's got her own place that she stays in. To me, those are the real heroes.
Yes.
To me, those are the people we need to idolize. Like she doesn't employ 20 people, but she provides for everything she does. She does a simple job. She doesn't need recognition. She doesn't need to go viral. She doesn't need any of those things. And yet she's able to do what most people are not able to do. She's able to put food on the table.
And the emphasis will always be on finding your potential, finding your purpose rather.
True.
What are you passionate about?
What do you love?
What are you good at?
Yeah.
Actually, what are you good at? What do you know that when I do this, it actually makes me it doesn't just make me happy, but I'm actually really good at it. How then can I monetize on that?
Exactly.
You
So looking
get-
at a timeline, you go, you find what your passion is, then you find out how you can monetize on it. Let's take it to a situation where like you're in right now, where you're able to get a stable income. And now what other opportunities are you able to, like how are you able to catapult yourself even further out of unemployment, out of poverty with those resources? Like you've done step one, you've done step two. And now what are your options getting into that?
Currently, for me, with the YES program more than anything, there is this part where a lot of us dread, but that's doing your modules on the YES One app. There's the part where it says entrepreneurship. And a lot of people might look at that and be like, okay, I'm just going to do it, get it over and done with. But I got a lot of information from just that. Understanding that when you have an income, learn how to budget. And then when you have the savings that you have currently accumulated, what then do you put it towards?
Mama.
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
That's beautiful.
Lucy, what's your take on that? How are you able to take a steady income and then use that to give yourself the foundation or the platform to move forward, whether it be in your career? Have you started a business? How have you managed to navigate that space?
So I haven't started a business yet, but I only just have a side hustle where I sell some perfumes.
Mama, that's a business.
Yeah, come on.
Yes.
That's a big money.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
I don't stay broke. So it helped me a lot, especially with transport money to come to work and also to buy those small things that sometimes throughout the month, maybe they'll run out. And also to ensure that I save. When I started the year's program, it was not easy because when you start getting employed, now you need to impress everyone. Everyone must know that you are working. Then I've realized later, no, this thing is not working. As much as I'm working, I'm not working for the community. I'm working for myself,
Exactly.
for my kids. So I
That's
need
what
to.
I wanted to touch on. I really love what you just said because as young people, we always want to trend. Let me look cool to my friends. But also, how is that going to help me in the next 5 years? You understand?
Nothing.
Now, I wanted to have conversations where we're helping each other to say saving money is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Starting that business is cool because you're
Exactly.
thinking about your life in the next 5 years. You go to, okay, I don't want to be stagnant, buying that Hennessy and then it's over. You hung over the next day and you've wasted so much money when you could have saved it and invested it in yourself and have done things for yourself that are going to be so, exactly.
And Lucy,
One
what was the
thing-
realization for you? Like, what was the point where you said, this is not really working for you? What
Yeah, I
caused you
want
to
to go
make
to
that,
this
to realize
path.
that?
So what made me to realize is that when I needed help from those family members, they were not there to assist me. And I was like, no, if I've only have saved the money for myself, I wouldn't have called somebody else. I wouldn't have struggled. I'll use that savings because when we grow up, especially for somebody who grew without our parents, I always thought that for those people or my family who is being there for me, I owe them something. Yes, they've done their part, but I also need to think about myself. I also have kids and also to ensure that I do save up. And also what I've realized also in most cases, I do the induction and also the
Sessions.
session is signing and induction. So in most cases, I do that. When I love to ask our Yesu to say, you have not been working for 3 months. You've been staying at home for 3 months or 6 months. You've not been receiving that 4.9. Now, boom, on your first month, you receive your stipend. Now you're going to eat all that stipend, all of it. Now you want to
As if you're used to it.
Yeah.
now you want to showcase to say you are working. Why can't you save a little bit of your stipend? Because basically 3 months, you're not receiving that amount. Why are you using that as stipend?
And what were you able to do once you started saving? How were you able to put that money towards things that you wanted to do? Is it something that you've been able to just keep and grow for retirement? Is there something that you've said, okay, no, I want to advance in my career, I need to do this or educate myself here? How have you made that money work for you?
So on my end, I was able to ensure that my kids get clothes. I was also able to buy myself a bed because I did not have a bed. And not just a bed, a quality one, so that I am comfortable and also
Yeah, it's
take
an
care of my
investment
grandmother.
too.
So it helped me a lot. Instead of me trying to show that I have money, I'm working. And in some cases, find that I do not have that money. It's just that it's just a picture on social media, think that I have that amount. So it helped me a lot. And then recently, my grandmother just passed away. So the savings did help me a lot. So if I wouldn't have saved their money, now I'll be like maybe going to the loan shark,
You know?
making sure that we prepare for the funeral. But then because of the saving, it did help me a lot.
So,
Yeah.
like, going back to unemployment, I want to understand the period. Okay, have you guys ever been unemployed?
Yes. yes.
Okay.
I want to go back to, I want to be in your mind, and I want to try to understand during that period, how were you feeling and what are the courses that you took as a person to say that, okay, I'm unemployed, and what are those procedures that you took to say that I want to end this for myself?
So on my end, I studied at EWC. I did my office admin certificate. And then after that, I was still working at Edgar's. And then from there, I got a short contract for 12 months within Morento Institute. So it was basically like short contract, 6 months, 12 months. And then from there, before COVID-19 started, I realized that I only have a
Hey,
certificate.
COVID.
Yo, everything reset.
Yeah.
So I realized that I only have an office admin certificate. Why can't I enroll in something? So I decided to enroll with UNISA, doing my UNISA, my diploma in law.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I was trying to ensure that maybe I can be employable. And I wanted myself to do something different within that, what I did before, because I did an office admin certificate, but then I was not getting the kind of job that I want. I was like, no, let me do something different. So that's when I've enrolled. And then for me, being employed as youth at work, it also based on the relationships that we keep, because I was recommended by my former colleague Liz for me to be at youth at work.
Connection.
So beside that, we're a group of people, so your attitude also matters, because sometimes you might think that you will try to applying jobs, but then you don't get called, but then somebody that you know, they might be able to recommend you. So
And Lucy, you know, for those of you who don't work, I mean, we work with you, and Lucy's got the most incredible attitude.
Yeah, love
she
it.
keeps it long nights, long months, we're working late hours. What are some of the things that you would share to someone else to say, you know, this is how I keep myself on track. This is how I keep myself hyped up. This is how I keep the energy high.
Yeah.
What are some of those insights that are not necessarily go study this course, learn this thing, but some of your tools to keep yourself motivated and on goal?
So one thing that I would say is the attitude that you keep. So normally on the induction, I'll repeat that because that's when most cases I learned some new things or some new skills. I always say that if you are somebody, or maybe your community or your friends, they always say that you are like, you don't smile, you're always angry and everything. Try to smile, because the more you smile, the more you bring out the bright energy in you, because sometimes we get judged because
I love that, guys. If you didn't hear that, post a smile. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you
bring out-
practice that to ensure that even somebody who's approaching you, the more the person comes to you, when you smile to the person, so the energy, like you, even if you are not active as I am, the more you smile, the energy in the room that you are also enable the other people to communicate with you. And also, do not give up. because sometimes we do give up easily. So by maybe, let's say you want to do something else within a company or an opinion, then you find that you are not being, maybe somebody, they're not like, nobody's giving you the interest. I don't know how to put it. They're not giving you the attention that you need. You don't have to give up because somebody's told you that you can't do it. Even if they say you can't do it, go practice. Practice more in your small corner. Practice.
Yeah.
I've never thought that on my end I'll be speaking in a large
Audience.
Yeah.
but because of practice, it made me to become better person every day.
Pascal, what I'm getting from this conversation right now is that education, be employed. Like, education is important for you to be employable. But also, are there other aspects or dynamics that we can look at to say that, okay, I didn't get the opportunity to go to varsity. We don't know, like our backgrounds are different. So what are the odds for someone like that? That's what I want to hear. Like, okay, we're hearing education. It's important. Guys, go to school. Educate yourself. Upskill yourself.
I think
And also, like, what are the other dynamics? Or are we just saying that you have to?
no,
So-
that's why I asked Lucy the question that I just asked her, because to me, we do a lot of interviews. And we often hire out of attitude, not qualification. So those who say, "Oh, I've studied this, I've studied that. Here's my degree, I'm done." Like, you rather hire someone who's got no degree, no qualification, who's really eager,
And willing to learn.
work, willing to learn, open. And those are also the people you generally find who are more reliable. So what I would be wary of is to say, just because you've got a qualification doesn't mean you're entitled to anything.
Yeah.
Like, you
Oh,
got it.
Louder for the ones with the
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, attitude matters more than your qualification, your education. Even for myself, the first job that I ever had, I started way at the bottom. And I looked at all my supervisors and I said, okay, how can I make his life easier? What are the things? And I just studied them. And then, like Lucy said, I didn't let them demotivate me. So even when there were times where things were going bad, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, how long can this guy hold out until he loves me? And I'll just prove it. Like, keep moving. And then you'll be like, I bet you can't wait 3 weeks. He's going to be happy. Like, you just keep that, like, it's you against you. You don't look at anyone else.
You know, our HR manager always says that your aptitude and your attitude determines your altitude. So your attitude and your brains really matter in this case. And also, like, as young people, we should always try to open new avenues to ourselves. Let's get that information for ourselves. Let's upskill ourselves. Let's ask questions, network with other people. Ask Pascal that, oh, Pascal, I see you doing 1, 2, and 3. How did you get there? You understand? Don't be scared to have those uncomfortable conversations. Be vulnerable with other people. They might help you.
Sure. Guys, we're going to have to wrap up soon, but I just want to get some closing statements from you. If there was something that you would want to give to our youth in South Africa, whether it's a story you want to share, something you want to give to them, what is
little
your
message.
little nugget, your little treat, and advice for those people?
Smarties.
Okay, for my end, I'll just give them a tip on communication. Because in most cases, when we do interviews, when most youth or those who are unemployed, when they're being asked to say, how well can you communicate? They always say that I communicate well, I'm a best communicator. But when it comes to the work,
Practical.
work environment, we fail to communicate. And in most cases, we find that other youth or they fail to get absorbed because they cannot communicate. For example, if let's take for instance, your supervisor has given you a task to do and then they've given you a certain deadline, but then you cannot meet the deadline. You find that you don't inform the supervisor that there's a delay in
Due to
submitting
1,
the
2,
task.
and
So the
3.
person will be like, no, he knows if I don't submit means that I'm still doing the work. I'm not done. But you're not letting the other person or your supervisor let know that I am working on that, but I'm currently running late on submitting. So communication is a key, and also the tone, how you tell the other person. It must be. Yeah, that's all.
And from
Thank
you,
you so much,
Level?
Lucy.
Okay, so my little nugget would be keep your positivity intact. Don't let anything derail you. Know who you are so that you're not told by the world who you are. And make sure that whatever you're passionate about, you go for it. Don't be hindered by the fact that maybe what you want is not being presented to you. go and find it and make things happen for yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. Helpful. So what are, some of the things we've discussed, a lot of things throughout this podcast. What are some of the tactical things someone can do? For example, you said, guys, go and get yourself educated. But where can we go and do that? Stay informed. How do we stay informed? So what are finding jobs? Where can we go and do that? What are some of those things that people can go and do on a very tactical level?
So I feel like, first of all, it's young people, we have a huge option of places where we can look for information. So for starters, that TikTok you're scrolling on, don't just look at videos that are funny. Try to find something that is going to inspire you and help you grow. Let's say maybe someone is speaking about remote jobs, because that's what's trending lately.
Yeah.
Try to find sites like that. Okay, I can apply on this site for remote jobs. Oh, on YouTube, there's someone tutoring about 1, 2, and 3, and I'm really interested in that. Don't just be on your phone and just look at someone's lifestyle. Build your brand, be your own brand, and say that this is what I want. This is the change I want to see, and it's going to start with me. You understand? Also, have uncomfortable conversations, as I said earlier, with people to say that, you working here and here, please plug me.
Yeah.
Please, have those conversations. Don't just talk about, next week there'll be Kevin more. No, no, Yeah, so as young people, let's have productive conversations. Let's help each other grow. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, from my side, some of those things that I want to give you is go onto our Youth at Work website, go through the Addison link, you'll get a 30% discount on your certificates there.
Like that.
You'll go to the HP link. Right now, Microsoft is offering a lot of free and low-cost courses for a lot of tech stuff. Go there. We've got a course on AI fluency to go and do that. And then go to sayouth.mobi, go register yourself, look at new ads. We're going to link all these things and more in the description. So please go there, help yourself to information and make the most of it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back next time. Thank you.
Thank you.